Just before we get into this, obviously I'm going to start with the origin story of this project. Where's our twisted writers? Over there? There we go. Badger and Matt. So, do you want to talk about your dark high school childhood over here, or?
We said that we wouldn't have to talk about
okay.
it.
We're not going to do too much though. But anyway, tell us where this came from. Come on.
Well, it's a true story.
Go on.
This is a seasoned genre crowd. I think most people in this room have probably seen a movie or two with a killer who's a step ahead, or 2 steps ahead, or 16 steps ahead. And so we kind of got to talking about how that would actually happen. Why would that happen?
Right.
How much planning would that actually take to somehow be on the opposite side of the house when somebody is running through and you have to go all the way?
And then the next step is what kind of people do that. And it's not the weird misfit loner, it's the overachievers who have the time and the drive and the dedication to plan something. And you know, the athlete who can actually pull this off. That's how it happens.
Right. I think we enjoyed some dark twistedness tonight, right, from these wonderful writers. Good talk for today. I'm going to turn around this first. So, Ray. Okay, good. Obviously, I heard you came up through Toronto, filmmaking here, at Toronto Film School alumni. Any alumni of Toronto Film School here? Well, that is wonderful that you are. Tell us what, you worked on projects when you were younger, obviously as a young filmmaker while you were at school and other projects, and this one seems like it's a much bigger one than others you've worked on, for sure. I wonder what it was like jumping up from film school to working on a large project like this.
I did go to Toronto Film School. Unfortunately, I didn't get to finish it. Kind of film school chocolate.
Wow.
I was bored, really.
Okay.
I think it's definitely very different, but I spent most of my time with my friends just making short films after short films, a lot of 40-hour film contests where I had a very good sense of time. Because time management, I think, is very important when you're on a film set. And I just done a lot of short films, and then one day, my wonderful manager, Daniel, he's someone that's in the crowd, and he gave me a chance. He thought there was something special that I could maybe do a good project, and he signed me on. And from there on, he kept pushing me to producers after producers until I was fortunate enough to be picked from this film.
Fantastic. I'm gonna ask a couple more questions. I'm gonna throw it open to you guys. So get some questions ready. You're gonna ask this wonderful cast and crew. Let's ask a fantastic cast here. Great performances. Give it up for them, please. I'm gonna talk about getting involved with the casting process, and it's Freddie. Yeah, Freddie. What it was like to get involved in, and the dark places you had to go to in this film.
It was actually a really different process from what I'm usually used to. All we did was send this off tape, and then I think like a week later, I got a message saying the director wants to meet with you. And usually that's like, okay, like that doesn't mean I got it, but it means like it's good. So I went and met with him. I met Ray, that's where I met Spencer, and I met Freddie Raymond, who's not here. And it was such a great experience. We just read through the whole script, and then a week later, I didn't hear anything, and I was like, okay, guess I didn't get it. And then a couple days later, I got another message saying, director wants to meet with you again. So we met up, and this time it was just Spencer and I, and then we did a couple more reads, and then about 2 weeks later, I actually found out that I got the role because he posted on Instagram saying, excited to welcome to these 3 to the film, and I was like, oh, I haven't heard anything from my agent yet, but I hope it's there. And then, yeah, we went to Sudbury in October, and I think it was day 4 of filming that I was crying for 12 hours. That the whole end of the movie, we filmed in one day in like 12 hours, and so I was just crying for the entire time. And he helped me out a lot with it. He made me watch a couple movies to get into it, some really morbid movies, but it was great. I had my friends watch it with me. And then on the day itself, he kind of just shut me out and made sure that I didn't hear everything else that was going on during filming, and I was just crying the entire time. It was great.
I think the performance speaks for itself. It's fantastic.
Thank you.
Do we have anyone else from the cast want to mention about the process?
I can't elaborate much more on that. It was just a really, really great experience. And Ray is an awesome director, and he kind of just really took us under his wing and I think made something pretty special. Yeah.
First and foremost, I just want to thank everybody that made it out here tonight. Without you guys, this wouldn't have happened. So thank you all for coming. Thank you all for taking the time to watch this wonderful film. This is my first time seeing it as well, and I hope you all enjoyed it. I hope you all vote. Rip number 5 out and put the box outside. We really want to win this. And, I'm involved. I got an email one day from my agent saying, hey, there's this producer named Sean Thomas. He would like to sit with you, and he has a script. He sent me the script. And I read it. I'm like, it's just like high school kids going around and killing people. So, what is this, and what would you like me to be involved with this project? So I met with him and Ray, and they told me, it was just a meeting over lunch, and they said, hey, we know your work, and we think you'd be pretty cool as this detective cop / officer, and do you know Luke Goss? I'm like, yeah, no, the hell, he's awesome, man, he's a cool cat, he's also a musician. And Sean's like, you know what, I'll take care of lunch. I'm like, yeah, you sold me. I'm in. And on set, we got there. When I got there, Ray was on a different mode. He comes out with this like, red paint on his face. This guy's serious. He's going to war. But I had a great time working with them. I'm very grateful. Congratulations again.
You guys, a couple of collaborators haven't spoken yet. You want to say what your role was quickly and
I'm Jason Gillette, one of the producers. Sean brought me the film, the script, and we were able to bring it to fruition. And I have to say, working with upcoming filmmakers like Ray and a lot of the talented crew and cast that are here in this room today is a great experience. And it's fantastic to have festivals like Toronto After Dark that are supporting Canadian cinema and having a full room tonight. It's one thing, making the films, it's another thing to get them seen. What a great crowd, and so just give it up for you guys coming out on a Sunday night to watch the film.
Michael Caterina, one of the DOPs for the film.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, my mom told you all to applaud that, so that's great. I'm glad her message got out. Yeah, it was a great experience working with everybody here. Yeah. I don't know what else to say. Thank you, Ray, for being so awesome, and whatever planet you landed from, yeah, it taught me a lot.
And hi, I'm Chanel. I play Layla in the film, and I just want to thank Ray for just bringing out so much in me, and I wouldn't be here without you and Sean. So thank you guys so much. And thank you everyone for joining us. It's such an amazing experience, and thank you.
Yeah, I'm Sean Thomas. I'm one of the producers on this. I just want to thank everybody. It was an amazing experience, Ray. Fantastic job. We gave Ray the script, and he came back a couple days later and said, I loved it. We said, okay, give us a presentation. We were expecting something in a month. I think within 19 hours, Ray sent us a presentation that just like knocked our socks off. And that presentation ended up getting our financing, and thank you very much, man. You're awesome.
With Extracurricular, any scenes or any moments you want to ask about, any particular questions, just raise your hand or shout out. I see one over there.
Yeah, I'd like to ask the director or the writers or the producers or director if you can answer. It reminds me of one film I saw that was very mortifying. And the director said this one shows the from the viewpoint of the murderers. Did you ever see the Visitors from 2008? You never got to know them, but I found it very mortifying because they were so cold. And at the end, they sort of revealed the purpose when Liv Tyler, I think it was Nathan Fillion, they said, why are you doing this? And the lady in the mask said, because you were home or something like that. But at least this movie, you get to know them more. They have a bit of they have some feelings or emotions. And I guess they're slightly psychopathic in high school and everything. Did the Visitors inspire the writers or any other?
Those Visitors inspired you guys?
Any
From the
other
perspective of the killers themselves?
Less that specific film than the grand history of home invasion and slasher and like the intersection of those two as far as planning goes.
But there was definitely a spurt right around that time when there were 3 or 4 of like the really well choreographed we are locked in a house and they're one step ahead. Yeah, I think there was definitely that moment that we really wanted to examine, like the logistics of how to do it. As well as getting some of the motivation.
Because once you start planning logistics, you have to figure out who it is, so you kind of do that FBI profile thing and go, okay, well, what are the traits of somebody who does this? It's not just somebody like, oh, somebody's home over there, let's kill him. You have to find what that type of person is.
We have some more questions. Hand over there.
For the cast, what were your favorite moments to film?
The cast. What were your favorite moments? Oh. Yes, ma'am.
It was pretty trippy, the part where I had to take a bullet out of her tummy. That was just like a really weird thing to say that I've done, so I'd say that was pretty fun. Shotgun too, yeah.
Yeah, I actually had a lot of fun just filming the killing scenes. I mean, you don't do that every day, so I really liked the scene. It was actually wonderful and very good idea to laugh while I was crying and then kind of just scream. So I really liked that. It was an emotional day, but it was great. Murder! Hi, Mom.
I really loved filming the scene where Miriam dances. It was such a beautifully cinematic scene, and everyone that was there was so supportive, and Ray was just talking me through the whole thing, and it was just a beautiful scene. It was a wonderful day.
For me, I liked my first day, which was our opening scene of me and Lucas when we find the body in the field. That moment was very realistic for me and for him, I'm sure. And so, yeah, that's what happened.
Just have an addition here to the wonderful crew. Do you want to just introduce yourself?
Yeah, of course. Hi, I'm Keisha. I'm the associate producer on it.
Thank you personally because she helped get the film improv dark by keeping up email correspondence and a lot of things. A very, very big round of applause to Keisha. Thank you so much. Sometimes we as programmers love film, but there's all sorts of bureaucracy and paperwork that holes have to be jumped through. And I'm so glad you helped communicate this film and how much we wanted it, and we're screening it here tonight. Thank you so much. Some more questions from the audience? Thank you.
Hi, I have a post-production question. The film, I was really impressed with how the film looked. I thought it looked beautiful and very lush, which I know can be tricky with Canadian independent budgets. So I'm just curious how you pulled that off. What
How
you
you make
attribute
this film look so good on a Canadian budget?
Yeah, no, I mean, on Canadian, but it's all a matter of having skilled technicians. And you don't necessarily need a big budget, you need really highly skilled technicians that are passionate about what they're doing and are able to pull off magic. And so what did we do? Incredible people. That's really what it is. Putting together a strong family and being able to have talented Canadian filmmakers shine on screen like we did today.
Woo! Yeah!
Question maybe for the writers, but in the scene where the teacher offers Ian the book that is the counterpoint to Nietzsche, did you have a specific book, or what was the idea there?
Nietzsche reference.
It is totally Slaughterhouse-Five, which I know is like a cliched dude book, but it seemed like sort of the kind of humanist fiction you might give a high school student to try and get them off the Nietzschean path. Which is why he hands it to him with this, so it goes.
We got any more hands?
Sorry, just to add one last thing. How we did such a great job in post-production was Urban Post and the great team at Urban Post. I just want to give a little hands up to Urban Post.
The very back, go for it.
This one's for Brittany. Did you enjoy being that close to the scorpion?
It was actually, they wanted me to feed it with the actual grasshopper? Or cricket, sorry.
That was a real scorpion, right?
It was a real scorpion, yeah. I was actually supposed to pick up a cricket and put it in, but I was like, I don't think I can do it. So they gave me the tweezers, and it actually kind of worked out really well, so, yeah.
Scorpion is actually our art director's personal scorpion.
The scorpion is actually our art director, Megan's personal pet scorpion. She's like, hey, Scorpion, I got one at home. And so, no, we couldn't afford that again, Canadian films, but we did have a volunteer Scorpion on set.
This is more of a question for the director, but I'd like for the cast to answer. How was your process when you were like, what was the process like going into this film over here? Like, how did you think you were going to pull it off? In what way?
What is the process of pulling off this film? That's a big question.
I mean,
In one word, difficult.
difficult. Very difficult.
Yeah, I heard you guys had to shoot really fast. Someone told me that. Like, this was actually a very
17 days.
17 days. Wow.
Yeah, it was very difficult. I think for me, it's just a story I wanted to really spend a lot of time on these main characters, for you to like them, even though you know they're horrible, horrible people. But I just want to build a relationship for you to say, you know what, I can see them being my friends, except the killing part. But I just really want to step away from the cliche of spending so much time as the victims, because we really don't know who the victims are, and we don't really care at this point. So I really want the conflict to be between these kids, and they did such a good job. And one of my favorite scenes is actually when they were playing poker. Half of that is pretty much improvised, just because they were so tired from shooting. When I said action, they weren't even really trying, they're just being themselves, and I just love that so much.
Yeah, the process for us was definitely a lot easier than for these guys, because they had it for a couple of years and we only had it for 17 days. Before we started filming, we kind of wanted to create our own backstories and kind of why we wanted to get into murdering people and what our motivation was and stuff. So I know Brittany and I both wrote a story about our characters that you don't really see in here, but it was just kind of for us to just get into it mentally and just be able to justify what we're doing. Justify killing, but yeah.
I don't know. For me, it was just this story took place in Michigan, so working on a few accents and stuff like that, and picking what kind of music this character would listen to. During that time, I was going through a dark period, so I just utilized that for this character, and it helped. So yeah, that was my process.
I think that we were all like going a bit stir crazy in the hotel and stuff for the duration of filming this, and that kind of translates at some points. Yeah, especially me and Keenan, who plays Derek, were like, we kind of like became brothers essentially, and yeah, it was really cool. But I think that we were a big part of what translates onto screen is like genuinely like going a little bit mad. And that's yeah.
Shooting them sometimes was kind of terrifying. Like, it was weird. Like, I had, like, now that it's all over and everything, being around the cast, the performing cast sometimes, it would be really stressful. Like, it took you guys over for a bit. And I guess that really showed on screen. That was one of the things that, like, was very fun about shooting this, is that it felt real. Like, having the camera there and everything like that, you know you're making a movie, but a lot of times, like, I wasn't sure if you were in a bad mood. Like, it was just really intense, and it really showed through. Like, yeah.
And for me, same with Brittany, like doing a backstory on everyone, finding why I was like that, my interest in girls at that time, and being around that whole cast, and just feeding off of them, getting amazing energy from them is a big part of like how I conduct myself. I think that was about it.
You got some over there?
For the writers, what's your writing inspiration? Who's your writing inspiration?
Your writing inspiration.
You want to take it?
Lee Brackett.
Walter Hill, mostly. He is, I think, by far my favorite screenwriter. I know these are like total non-genre picks, but yeah, as far as like other screenwriters.
It's too wide. If you want to come and talk to us at the pub, we will talk to you for like 4 hours about all of our influences. I want to take 1 second for a personal note to say that we are American writers, and to be here at Toronto After Dark and in some way to be joining the grand and storied world of Canadian horror is a super great feeling for us.
Any last couple of questions do we have? Any hands over there? Or did I see one more? I was going to ask you guys a question about the ending, actually. I guess it's to the writers. This is Trump Dark, but even we have to admit that's a very dark ending. Did you guys brainstorm multiple different endings, or was it always the original way you wanted to kind of finish with a punch, emotional punch to the audience?
There was never like a lighthearted musical number at the end. That's kind of what you're asking. It was always grim. We did bounce around different ideas for who lives and who dies.
I'm pretty sure Jenny survived in almost all of them. Yeah. I think almost all of them. She was a survivor. And I don't know. It just really worked out.
Any last questions? Oh, one over there.
Are there any scenes that didn't make it into the film that are on like the edit film?
Scenes that didn't make it into the film.
Yeah.
Oh, there are quite a few.
Bonus features.
Sure. There was just a lot of backstories and little things that really helped you, that could have helped you understand some of the characters' motives more. But ultimately, the film was too long. We had to cut a few things out. There was a little bit more of Mr. Bowman and Miriam. There was kind of a relationship there too. So some of her text message was going to Bowman instead of Layla. Yeah.
It's always difficult to put some of the hours as a producer when you're approving overtime and you're doing stuff and you're trying to encourage the crew to stay on board and continue to support Ray's vision on these difficult overnight shoots. It's hard when you get to the editing room and you're like, well, this is simply not going to make it. Are we just attached to the scene, or does this actually make the film better? And hats off to Ray to be able to commit to simply making the best film possible and not attaching himself emotionally to scenes that we spent a lot of time and energy on. So it's always a difficult thing to do, but at the end of the day, I think we can all agree it's a great film, and thanks to Ray.
I was going to ask you, I guess on a related note, what were some of the improvised moments that you guys had to do? Obviously on the 17-day shoot, you must sometimes have to cut a few corners. Is there anything that you particularly liked that you added last minute or was changed?
Half the scene with the playing pokers and improvised. Yeah. The monologue Miriam delivers to Karen about her childhood best friend, that was improvised.
Wow.
A lot of the stuff in the barn was improvised. And
I remember in the part where I kill Miriam's dad, I had made up like a whole villain speech, like a whole evil speech to do, and then I did it, and then I was kind of like, this just doesn't make any sense, you know what I mean? But we did do a whole I wrote a whole thing where it was
actually the quote I gave in the beginning, that quote was the speech.
You said one quote, yeah.
Any more for any more? Any last? Okay, over there, go.
I was really curious whether Miss Teo based any of her scenes based on people she had met, or just she made them up based on her own experience in her life.
Well, I did have to watch a film called I Saw the Devil, which is Japanese? No, Korean. But it's a Korean film that was very gory, and there was one character in the film who she actually, she's essentially kind of the Jenny inspiration I found. She was the one that kind of killed her friends and kind of just made the sacrifices, but then you learn a bit about her backstory, and she kind of has a messed up childhood, so I tried to draw from that. I'm a pretty happy person, so it's not really for me, but there's a little bit of you in every character, right? So I tried to draw from darker moments in my life. There was one article that Ray sent me about this girl actually called Jen, or Jennifer, and she actually killed her own parents, and she's from Toronto. It's a real. Oh, Scarborough, sorry.
I heard that.
Thank
you. I have friends that relate relative to her, and then got the whole family shot.
Well, yeah, there you go. So it's someone close to home, and someone that you could have been friends with and you could have known. So I just wanted to be able to draw from that.
So we're about to head to the pub, and before we head off, just one very quick last question. Distribution, you guys, when's this film coming out? When can people, actually see it, and, when's it?
We have a strong sales agent team in BVI, Double Dutch International, and Elevation that are currently working on stuff, and so hopefully we'll be able to proudly release dates and theatrical releases and so on and so forth in the next 60 days, let's call it the next 2 months.
Okay, great. In the next 2 months, we'll be seeing Extracurricular out there, so give it up to the wonderful team here.